How's it going, everyone? Bass here. So day 12 of Packers training camp is now over. Today was a shoulder pad only practice. Yesterday was full pads. Today was shoulder pads only. And Aaron Rodgers had a veteran rest day today, so it was all Jordan Love in preparation of Friday's preseason game. So I have some highlights to react to and break down for you guys. And of course, I'll have videos just like this for every Packers training camp practice, as well as a recap video. So if you are new here and that interests you, please consider going down and clicking the subscribe button and also turning on post notifications to not miss any of the videos. I also source all of these clips on Twitter, so the respective owners will be down in the description below. So let's bring up the screen and get right into the first clip, and we have Jordan Love doing some warm-up throws. As I said, it is the Jordan Love show today. He got a lot of snaps today, which is good because I expect him to get a lot of play time this preseason, as he should. I think, and no disrespect to Danny Etling, anytime Jordan Love isn't on the field for preseason is kind of a waste of his time. I think he should play pretty much the entire game, all three preseason games, unless Aaron Rodgers plays a couple drives in the last game or whatever it may be. But I think Jordan Love needs a full preseason. He has yet to have one. It's really good for his development. He looks a lot better this year. Matt LaFleur and a bunch of other coaches have been very impressed with him in training camp so far, and it's shown. He's made plays. He's made really nice throws. So I want to see that in-game, live speed against other defenses, which I think we will get. And I'm really excited for Friday to see Jordan Love start at quarterback, play pretty much, I would assume, a full game and see what he's got. Really, really excited for Jordan Love this preseason. And here's a clip of the other quarterback, Danny Etling, who's, I guess, quarterback 2 today, you could say. And like I said, no disrespect to Danny Etling. Obviously, I hope he finds a job or is a practice squad quarterback here, whatever it may be. But the most he should play is a quarter, and that's the fourth quarter. Anything more than that is kind of, he's not going to make the 53-man roster. The Packers, if they were going to keep 3 quarterbacks, they would have kept Kurt Benkert. So they're clear in keeping 2 quarterbacks this year with Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love. So, Danny Etling, if he's going to play in preseason, it should be a quarter maximum. Jordan Love should be playing 3+ quarters every preseason game. And here we have a clip of the wide receivers running a little release drill into a 9 route. We have Juwan Winfrey there. I'm excited to see all these wide receivers suit up Friday. There's Amari Rodgers, ball thrown a little bit behind him. Then we have Sammy Watkins there, over the shoulder catch. And then we have man of training camp, Romeo Doubs, who had some nice plays today again. Danny Davis. And then we have Samori Toure with a really nice over-the-shoulder catch here. Ishmael Hyman, the next one, who had a rough day yesterday, but overall has had a really solid camp. Made the best of his time. And then we have Randall Cobb, who's kind of been on a veteran rest day the last 2 days. But yeah, I'm very excited. Malik Taylor in that first clip too. He has a non-contact jersey on, but looks like he's doing more and more. Should be ready to go here soon. Really excited to see these wide receivers play Friday, especially guys like Romeo Doubs, Amari Rodgers, all these younger guys, and even Sammy Watkins too, because this is the first time we're going to see him in a live game in the green and gold. And obviously the Packers think highly of him. He's a veteran wide receiver and could end up being the number 2 wide receiver for the Packers this season. But yeah, excited for all these guys to go out, run routes for Jordan Love, hopefully catch some passes Friday against San Francisco 49ers. And here we have Randall Cobb with a quick catch here, and I'm interested to see how they do slot receiver this year, because I know Allen Lazard can play big slot. Honestly, the Packers use him a lot in that way. The past couple of years he has been on the team. Randall Cobb is obviously a pure slot wide receiver. The only other thing he's played is kind of like some backfield roles. But then, of course, you have Amari Rodgers. Second year of Amari Rodgers, getting better, lighter, looks better in camp. Has had a really good camp thus far. Good family night, good camp. So I'm kind of interested to see what kind of snap count they're going to give for Randall Cobb and Amari Rodgers when it comes to that slot position. And even, like I said, Allen Lazard being a potential big slot option. I'm wondering how that's going to go. But we'll see what happens. Randall Cobb still, I think, has gas left in his tank. I do think this is his last year. He just moved back to his hometown. I do think this is his last year trying to get, a ring with Aaron Rodgers finally. So we'll see what happens. But I expect more Amari Rodgers this year than the 8 targets he saw last year. And here we have a clip of Jordan Love throwing a quick slant to wide receiver Sammy Watkins. And I know there's been a lot of tweets lately, stating that a lot of Sammy Watkins' contract isn't guaranteed. If they were to cut him, they're not going to lose a lot of money. They'll actually save money. So a lot of people are wondering, he's kind of had a quiet start to camp, starting on that NFI, then coming in and, hasn't done anything wild like a Romeo Doubs has. And a lot of people are saying, are they going to end up cutting him? I personally don't see it. I think Matt LaFleur and Gutekunst and Rodgers have spoken too highly of him. And I know in the past, obviously, Rodgers speaking highly of a receiver doesn't, signify he's going to make the roster with, the whole Jake Krumero thing. But the fact that Matt LaFleur and Brian Gutekunst both did, I don't see them cutting Sammy Watkins. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, they signed him before the draft. I don't see that happening unless he was absolutely terrible in camp, which he hasn't been. He's been very solid. We saw on Family Night that nice jump ball of Eric Stokes was a little bit of a push off, but I don't see him being cut. But his contract does allow it, so I get the speculation. But I don't see him being cut. I see him making this 53-man roster. In this clip, we have Rich Bisaccia snapping to Pat O'Donnell for a field goal. And honestly, at this point, Rich, you should just be our long snapper because, whatever we have going on doesn't seem to be working. I think Rich Bisaccia honestly could suit up. He could be like Burt Reynolds in Longest Yard 2, just suit up, run out on the field, and, snap the football. Honestly, at this point, I think he would be better than Stephen Wordle. Hopefully, Jack Coco's been doing good. He has been starting at long snapper some practices, so hopefully he does make the team as the long snapper over Stephen Wordle. But hey, we know, just like Joe Barry yesterday, could be our emergency quarterback, Rich Bisaccia, emergency long snapper. And here we have Mason Crosby with a Packers soccer ball, and this is kind of the first of any kicking, even though, albeit it's a soccer ball, we've seen from Mason Crosby since he's been put on the PUP. Signaling that he should be back very, very soon. The fact that he's working on at least kicking something. And Gabe Burkich has been inconsistent this camp. It's definitely Mason Crosby's job to lose. I do not see him losing that job. I see him coming in off the PUP and becoming the Packers starting kicker yet again for the 2022 season. So really nice to see him kicking something here. He entered the rehab group on Sunday. He's been in there the last 2 days, and then now we're seeing him finally kicking something. And like I said, it is a soccer ball, but hey, he's still kicking something. That right knee was the knee. He got the knee scope on. It doesn't look big or anything like it's filled with fluid or anything of that sort, so that's good. So hopefully he comes back soon. Who knows if we'll see him in the preseason or any bit of training camp, but Mason Crosby's a pro's pro, a good veteran. He could, theoretically come off the PUP a week before week 1 and go out there and kick and make kicks. So no worries with him. So just hopefully he gets on the field quicker rather than later so he can get some kicks in with Pat O'Donnell holding the ball. And here we have Mercedes Lewis doing a kind of a leverage drill, it seems, with no hands. And this dude is still, standing strong at 38 years old, still very hard to move. And Mercedes Lewis, big dog, such a great player, such a great team leader. I think he should still go for another year after this, break that tight end record of, I believe, 18 years in the NFL. I think he totally should. He's definitely the player that could do that. Obviously, we'll see how much, gas he has in the tank this year, but the dude's still going to see plenty of snaps. The way the Packers run their offense, having, a guy like Mercedes Lewis, a tight end who can essentially be another lineman on the field, is so important. So Tyler Davis, had good blocking last year, the limited snaps he saw. So hopefully Mercedes Lewis, showing him the ropes and how, what to do and all that. But this is ridiculous. I mean, he can barely move. I mean, he's not even using his hand, and this dude's 38. Here we have a quick offensive line blocking drill. We have John Runyon here, who's been left guard number 1 the entirety of training camp and likely will be left guard number 1 the entirety of the year. Now, obviously, when Elton Jenkins comes back, things might get swapped around a little bit, but he's going to be the starting guard, one of guards, the entire year. I would assume they would just keep him at left guard rather than move him around because Elton Jenkins kind of is the lineman that can move around. So if, say, Josh Nyman is at right tackle and is playing super well, they might just put Elton at right guard. But we'll see what happens there. And then we have Josh Myers here, who's been center number 1 the entirety of training camp and has had a good camp. I know Rodgers has kind of been on his back a couple times for some things. I don't know exactly what. He's had a couple bad snaps, but not too many. But yesterday, Rodgers was on his back about something. But Josh Myers is going to be the starting center for years to come. That's for sure. And finally, we have a running back drill here. We have Patrick Taylor running into the sled. I believe it's just Patrick Taylor and Tyler Goodson in this clip. I wish I saw A.J. Dillon do it because that sled probably had to be replaced. But I'm interested to see who the third running back is if Colin Hill starts in the PUP, of course. A lot of people still believe it will be Patrick Taylor. I thought Tyler Goodson has shown more in training camp to this point. But, of course, Patrick Taylor has, proven at least in the NFL so far. He had snaps last year in real games and played well. So, obviously, the Packers, do like him. and may keep him on the roster, that's for sure. But I think Tyler Goodson just has more versatility, has more upside. And I like I said, it's nothing against Patrick Taylor. I think he's a good back. I think he could be a good number 2, number 3 back on another team. But obviously the Packers having Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon, there's no, and Kylan Hill, there's no room for him to play now. So it's going to come down to special teams and upside. And that's what I think Tyler Goodson has over Patrick Taylor. And he's been on the field more this training camp. So I'm really excited to see these running backs Friday. I don't think we're going to see Aaron Jones or A.J. Dillon at all. So it'll be, Patrick Taylor, Tyler Goodson, and a B.J. Baylor show. But I think all these guys are really talented, so hyped to see them play Friday. But those are all the clips I have for day 12 of Packers training camp practice. If you did enjoy the video, if you could please leave a like down below. It supports my channel a ton. And I will be streaming Friday during the Packers' first preseason game against the San Francisco 49ers, so make sure to come on out and hang out. But that about does it for this video. I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Pack Go.